Okay, 1 chai tea latte with extra cinnamon and a shot of wheatgrass on the side. Not terribly tasty, but a good source of energy, which we will undoubtedly need in our efforts to uncover Heather's secrets. So, bottoms up, eh? First, Samantha, you okay?
Yeah, I was thinking about the baby.
Well, you know, I can handle this investigation on my own if you need to take some time.
No. I need to move on and try to focus on something else besides the pain. It's just I still have so many questions.
I wish I could give you some answers.
Yeah? Well, you can start by helping me figure out why Todd Manning kept that article about my baby.
Hey, Sonny. Got your message.
Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, of course. How's Kate doing?
Well, you know, she's been working with Dr. Keenan trying to figure out what caused your personality split. And yesterday she remembered something.
What was it?
Not what, who. That's why I wanted to talk to you. When I started working for Joe Scully, you know, I was groomed to be a major player in the organization, and Joe Jr., his son, it didn't sit well with him because he hated the fact that his father trusted me more than him. So he took his anger out on Kate.
Where is that son of a bitch right now?
You know what? I don't know. I mean, his father sent him underground years ago after this incident in Atlantic City.
In Atlantic City?
Joe Jr. ran a club for his father. He got in a little bit of a hassle with a stripper there, and he killed her.
Is it McBain's sister?
Scully knew that his son wouldn't survive in prison, so he asked me to keep quiet and let the police think that I did it. So they arraigned me in court in front of a judge who owed Scully a favor. They didn't have any evidence, so they let me go. That was the end of that story.
It's not the end of it. Not from McBain. He thinks that you're responsible for killing his sister.
I told McBain the whole story, what happened. I said, you know what? Joe Jr. shot your sister and ran away. I was kneeling by her body, trying to help her.
Did he believe you?
No, he didn't believe me. But I don't have proof of the actual killing. But there are records that show that Joe Scully was running the club and he vanished after the girl died.
Yeah, I think that McBain's actually following up on your story. Sam said he left Port Charles.
You talking to Sam again? That's a good thing.
Not really. I talked to her about coming home and she refused.
Sorry.
I mean, can you blame her? After what I did?
Why would Todd Manning care that my baby died?
We can't be certain that the article was his. I mean, it seems more likely that it was Heather's, right? We've established that she has more than a passing interest in you. Perhaps she, I don't know, dropped it while she was there to meet with Todd.
Okay, that makes sense. It's something she would do, carried around like some sort of sick souvenir. I mean, she does hate me. She came to visit me when I was in the hospital, and I wanted to throw her out, but I couldn't because her son was there. She was pretending to offer her condolences when I know she was gloating about how my baby had died.
She appears to be a dangerous woman.
Right. So why would Todd Manning, a media mogul, want to meet with her?
Well, given that you found her resume on the premises, it appears that she was there to procure employment, and if Olivia's email is of any indication, the meeting went well.
Manning gave her a job? Why would he hire her?
You need to get... According to Olivia, she secured work as a journalist.
Wait, she's gonna write articles?
Yeah, Olivia said that Heather could have any position she wanted, that Todd left it open to her.
Well, maybe Todd needs to spend some time in a mental institution. Why would he give her free reign over... Unless...
What?
What if Heather has something on Todd? I mean, it would explain why he would hire her. I bet you Heather is blackmailing him for a job.
No way of knowing Sam was in labor when you called those guys on McBain.
I should have never given the order to begin with.
You tried to cut it off.
The damage was already done.
It was not your fault.
Sonny! You know, after the accident I had with AJ, I didn't remember anything about my life. I didn't feel anything for the people that I was supposed to. And you told me that was okay. That it was good, that I could stay detached and I do what needed to be done without emotions clouding my judgment. Sending those guys after McBain was all emotion.
Things happen.
I can't give Sam her baby back. She's never gonna have a chance to be a mother. I took that away from her when I sent those guys after McBain.
The baby had a condition. There's no way the doctors would have known if they were able to save him.
Kate's probably wondering where you are. You go take care of her. I'm gonna take care of
Wait, okay, hold on. I want you to find Joe Jr. and bring him to me.
You think that's a good idea?
I'm gonna take care of that bastard the way you took care of Franco. Thought of Joe Jr. laying his hand on Kate while she's begging him to stop, and he's forcing himself, and you know he hurt her to get back at me. You know what that feels like, right?
Killing Franco didn't fix everything.
I should let Joe Jr. get away with raping Kate?
No, I'm not saying it. I'm saying no matter what you do to him, it's not gonna change.
Kills me! That I wasn't there when Kate needed me.
All you can do is be with her right now.
Joe Jr. got her sick, he caused the DID, and now she's got to live with it the rest of her life. I'm gonna help her with that. But that animal, he has to pay.
Okay. I'm gonna make some calls, see if I can get a lead on where he's been all these years.
I told McBain, I said, you know, after Joe Jr. disappeared, Scully was taking calls from an associate in New Orleans, and I overheard him talking about a wire transfer to the Fleur de Lis.
What is that? Is that a restaurant or a club? What is
Well,
that?
I didn't want to know anything until, you know, I had to. But after Atlantic City, I don't think Scully's gonna let his son run a club. I don't even think, or even know if Joe Jr. is connected anyway, but it's the only lead we have.
I'll look into it.
Wait. Kate and I, we've managed to work our way back together. I think you and Sam can too.
You said Todd was looking for a fresh start, right?
He was acquitted of his brother's murder by reason of temporary insanity. But the admission that he was in fact the killer, that was enough to make him a pariah in Landview.
Okay, so he relocates himself to Port Charles. He buys a newspaper so he can control everything that's written about him.
Yeah, it's a stroke of genius, really, to use the very medium that destroyed his reputation to resurrect him from the ashes, as it were.
Nothing like a little bit of positive press to change the way that people think about you, until, of course, you hire a former mental patient.
Yeah, Mr. Manning invested a considerable sum in the parent company LuxCorp. Why would he jeopardize his new acquisition?
I told you the only thing that makes sense is Heather is trying to blackmail him. It's the way she operates.
Yeah, I mean, you've been the victim of her blackmails.
Yes, I have. When Heather found out that Franco was possibly the baby's father, she was threatening to tell JaSam before I had the chance to.
Again, what did she want in return for her silence?
Mine. She didn't want me to tell her precious Stephen Lars that she had sold another baby.
Right. And you kept her secret.
It makes me wonder what secrets Heather is keeping for Todd.
Ms. Miller,
Olivia retained our services in the hopes that Steve's mother could be returned to Ferncliff before any other harm could be incurred.
Yes, I know the case fast.
So we shouldn't worry about Todd's secrets. We should put all of our energy into whatever Heather is hiding.
No, we find out what Heather is using to blackmail Todd, and then we find out what Todd's secrets are.
Okay, a logical plan, but one obvious flaw.
What's that?
Well, I met Mr. Manning once. You were there. He did not like me very much, and in fact, to be more specific, he threatened grievous bodily harm. And he hasn't met you at all, so consequently, he's not likely to trust you. So how do we even get close enough to... Excuse me?
Olivia?
No, Diane. Gracious greetings. Yeah, that's terrible. I'm sorry to hear it. Wow. Yeah, no, of course, you can call me back.
Ouch. Sounds like she's upset.
Most definitely an understatement.
Something to do with the column?
To paraphrase, that scarred sociopath does not know who he's dealing with.
Todd Manning.
Yeah, and to further quote Diane, he's fired her and given her column to a former mental patient.
Sam is grieving for a baby that isn't dead.
Test results are back and everything looks normal.
Does that mean I'm done with these follow-up appointments?
For now, yeah, but I'll like you back in 6 months. And if you still don't have any problems, then I'll sign off on your chart and we can part ways for good.
Great. Look, I know that I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you and Robin. Thank you.
Jason, tell Sam that I'm sorry about your loss. And I know the words don't mean much, especially on days where you feel like pain is going to swallow you whole. But you'll find ways to cope, and eventually it gets a little bit better.
He is most definitely a scoundrel. Yeah, Blackbeard's scar does not hold a candle, right. Okay, bye. Mr. Manning claims that he was making changes across the board, but Diane is convinced that she was let go to make room for Heather Weber.
Heather doesn't know the first thing about writing a newspaper column.
Yes, a point that Diane was quick to point out. Mr. Manning said it was a matter of personal taste.
Does Mr. Manning know Diane? She's gonna sue.
Yeah, apparently Mr. Manning's assistant made that same observation, and his response was to immediately fire the assistant to prove that Diane was not being singled out.
Well, was she there when all this happened?
No, evidently he didn't think that she merited a face-to-face conversation. Apparently the assistant filled her in on all the pertinent details when she called Diane after her own wrongful termination.
Okay, so Todd Manning fires an award-winning best-selling author so he can replace her with Heather Weber, a former resident at Ferncliff? What do you think of my theory now?
I think it's correct. Heather must have something over Todd.
Well, we just have to find out what.
So did you confront the guy?
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but this has absolutely nothing to do with Jason.
You came to me, you begged for a job. You pushed me to fire somebody who was qualified, somebody who was a best-selling author, and I did that without blinking an eye. But I draw the line in cutting a check for you if you've done nothing to earn it. If you're gonna work for me, you need to work, like at a desk.
Are you forbidding me from leaving?
What if I am?
Well, I would be upset. And we both know what could happen if I get upset.